What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and welcome on back to Mass Effect. So last episode, we took care of the Zeus Hope colony. We got part of the cipher from Saren's Asari that he left to rot with the Thorian. We did take care of the Thorian too, that's good as dusted, and we did manage to save the colony. They're actually going to make it. We got Shiala helping them, we got the water supply, the food, all that good stuff for them. Kaidan unfortunately didn't make it, but I think Shiala will take care of them. It's always good to have an Asari commando on board, right? So I think they'll be okay. We talked to the council and we did end up making a decision on who our romance is going to be for this playthrough, which is Liara T'Soni, which will be a switch. Last time I did this series, it was Ashley Williams. So now that we did another main mission, of course, we got to make the rounds and go talk to the cast and crew. And then I also need to go back to the Citadel and talk to Admiral Hahoku to start the next phase of his quest. So let's go ahead and chit-chat to people.
Hey, Commander, next time we touch down, let's try not to park the ship in a colony of mutant zombies. Just thinking out loud here.
That might be a good idea.
Alright, see ya.
I'll take it under advisement. Is there any more codexes in this docking bay? Sometimes the Normandy's codex will randomly reset. And there'll be random codex on like a wall panel somewhere or something, so it's good to keep an eye out for things like that. Presley doesn't really get any new dialogue, at least not in this first game. Maybe like way down the line, but a lot of his personality shift is going to come in the form of cutscenes. I think last time we tried to talk to Kaidan, he didn't have anything for us after the one mission. Our locker did reset, so we'll definitely take a look at this. Brawler, Katana, and Naginata. Okay, well we're all the way up at like level 8 items now, so it's going to get spicy. We do for you, Kaidan.
Anything you need, Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I'm glad there aren't many aliens like the Thorian. I don't think my stomach could take it. One of my cousins has an agribusiness. I was thinking of calling him. Maybe he can get some shipments into Pharaohs. I mean, now that they're cut off from the company.
And there it is with Kaidan, man. Like I said, the people person of the ship, he's always on the lookout. He's gonna get supplies for Zeus Hope, which is wonderful.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I didn't figure you'd have time to talk with all that's going on. There's gotta be some xenobiologists who want to read about the Thorian.
Yeah, we're not gonna let them get anywhere near that.
The paperwork will keep. Something on your mind?
I'm just looking for an ear. The debriefing wasn't the right place to say how ridiculous this is. Seems like every other race in the galaxy is wrapped up in their own problems. They don't want to see what's coming.
That's exactly what's going on. It's easy to sit on the Citadel and think that nothing is wrong, and when Asari or Turian or Solarian space isn't getting attacked and it's a human issue, well, you can see that as a little petty squabble, right? You don't have to look at the big picture, but we're gonna show them the big picture.
Wanting to believe everything will be fine? Sounds like human nature to me.
Yeah, I guess some things carry across species well enough. I should remember that after what happened with Vernus.
I'd think you'd carry a grudge over the crap you took from Vernus.
Before I met Vernus, I knew as much as any other civilian. Aliens were weird, superior, and tried to tell us what
Weird, I guess you could say is accurate.
It's only been 26 years since first contact. That's not a lot of time to understand them. But it was Vernus who made me see how human aliens are. They're not different or special. They're jerks and saints, just like us.
Good and bad apples in every
By the time
bunch.
I got payback, I didn't even want it anymore.
And it's kind of crazy that it's only been 26 years since first contact, so when I keep calling humanity the new kids on the block, that's exactly what I mean. 26 years, and we're already a Spectre, compared to how long it takes everybody else, right? So you can see why we'd be ruffling some feathers, and a lot of the other galactic community would feel hard done by. 26 years, and we're already pushing for a seat on the council, we're already a Spectre, we're taking all these new colonies and worlds and space in the universe, so you can imagine a lot of people would see that the wrong way. I mean, Liara said it best too, right? A lot of people see humans as bullies, like bullheaded.
I don't see you snapping very easily. What finally did it?
He hurt Rana, broke her arm. She reached for a glass of water instead of pulling it biotically. She just wanted a drink without getting a nosebleed, you know? Like an idiot, I stood up. Didn't know what I was gonna do, just something. And Vernus lost it. Beat the crap out of me. Kept shouting how they should have bombed us back to the Stone Age. And that's when the knife came up. A military-issue talon, right in my face. I cut loose. Full biotic kick right in the teeth. Almost as strong as I can manage now. But at 17, that's something.
You do get adrenaline dumps when you're trying to protect somebody you care about, right? And Kaidan clearly was crushing hard on Rana. And for what it's worth, Verna sounds like a real asshole, right? Beating kids, breaking their arms because they reached for something instead of using biotics. He just sounds like a real piece of shit, so... I mean, a full biotic kick in the jaw seems like it was right up his alley.
You wanted to help a girl you cared for. That's a noble thing.
Maybe my intentions were noble, but I lost control. I killed him, Shepard.
Self-defense. There was a knife in your face.
They probably could have saved him if they got him to an infirmary quick enough. But they didn't. Caused a stir when they shipped him home. Bot training was shut down. Kinetics folded a couple of years later. So, yeah, maybe I hated that Turian. I mean, if one ass was enough to judge a whole race, I'd hate humans too.
And that is a very fair perspective. Look at all the scumbag human criminals we've killed in the galaxy, right? You can't judge them as the whole unless the whole is what represents them, right? Like, I think Batarians are an exception to the rule that he's talking about in terms of galactic space, because the exception in the Batarians are the good people, right? They have, as a matter of legislation, they have slavery and drugs, and they told the council to fuck off when they offered them to come into council space because they don't want to give up the slavery and the drugs and the terrorism. They'd rather be like that. In fact, their main political arm, which is the government and the army, they're all terrorists. So, I think the Batarians are the exception to this, but there's good and bad apples in every bunch. And I still don't tend to judge the Batarians as a whole as a bad bunch. It's just they're run by a bad bunch and majority, right? But the good Batarians are still worth saving too, which will actually come into play in Mass Effect 3 quite a lot, in my opinion, on the Batarians.
A reasonable stance. Keep that level head and we'll do fine.
Staying reasonable is about all we've got left. Everyone else in this galaxy seems to have gone out of their minds. Present company accepted, of course.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I'm included in the portion of the galaxy that you think still has this shit together. Trying here. Assuming Commander the Normandy on a massive mission against a rogue Spectre right out the gate wasn't exactly a very comfortable starting point.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
It's very good.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Well, we did have a hell of a conversation in the comm room, and you did say you wanted to speak in private, so...
I like talking with you, Liara, no matter what the subject.
You have been very understanding with me, Shepard. Very patient. I appreciate that. I know there are some strange beliefs about my people. I am familiar with the legend of Asari promiscuity, but those rumors have little basis in fact.
That's not entirely true.
When one of my people joins with an individual from another species, it is a very deep and spiritual exchange. We do not enter lightly into a union.
Tell that to the hookers on the Citadel, Liara, and the strippers and the sex workers and the Asari consort herself, peddling her spiritual exchange for currency.
You make it sound almost mystical.
A true union goes far beyond an ordinary melding. It is a connection that transcends the physical universe. Two become one. Thoughts and senses merge, identities intertwine. Memories and emotions weave themselves together, becoming entangled in a single, rapturous whole. It is unlike any other experience. In some cases, it can be a truly life-changing event.
For the Asari, at least, because I'm pretty sure, well, Liara explicitly said, right, that the humans' part in the melding is completely passive. So I wonder if the humans get a taste of the Asari memories and all that stuff too, or if that's something they can just choose to do. But the Asari, I know they like to suck up all the memories and the genetic code and all that stuff. But I wonder if the humans get a piece of that pie too. Maybe it's down to the Asari's choice on that. Maybe they can choose to imprint their stuff too, or if they just take.
It sounds amazing. Are you saying...
No! Oh no! I am not very good at this, am I? I'm sorry, Shepard.
The panic.
I'm trying to explain why I have been so... reserved. The Union is more than just sex. It is the lifeblood of my species, the way we Asari evolve and grow as a society. That is why I have never... that is why we must choose our partners with great care.
So she's a virgin, which, I mean, makes sense, right? She spends all the time in dick sites. That's why she's so awkward about this kind of stuff. But there is no rush, and of course we're going to say that. But I just want to touch on the fact of what I just said about the Asari melding and how they take memories, right? That goes to show you how the Asari consort has all those secrets and why she is so... how would you say it? Why she's so prominent on the Citadel in terms of position and trust and care, and how everybody kind of respects her wishes. Why she's one of the big swinging dicks on the Citadel is because she literally knows everything. You have all these generals and politicians going to her for her comfort, in air quotes, and then she gets literally every piece of the pie in their brains. So she has codes, she has backroom deals, she has memories, she has scandals all in her brain that she gets by people. So that makes you understand why she got to the position she's in. Asari promiscuity is not just a rumor.
I want you to be absolutely sure about this, Liara.
I am only 106, barely an adult by Asari standards, and I spend most of my time absorbed in my research. I never really thought about it, not until I met you. You are very special to me, Shepard. But with all that's happened, Saren, the Geth, the Reapers, I do not know if we are ready for this.
These are dark times, Liara. Maybe once all this is over.
I'm glad you understand, Shepard. There is too much at stake. We need to put aside our personal feelings and focus on stopping Saren.
I would agree.
I wish it did not have to be that way. But we all have to make sacrifices. Let's talk about something else.
It makes sense, right?
I should go.
The fate of the galaxy is at stake, and any of us could catch a bullet at any given time, so starting something is okay, which we already kind of did, but taking it to its natural conclusion is a little more of a complicated issue, right? Considering that Normandy could get attacked by a Geth dreadnought in 5 minutes from now, and then everybody here is dead, so I understand the hesitation, especially when she's never done something like that before.
Commander, I wanted to thank you.
This is Garrus's last conversational line, actually.
What for, Garrus?
For everything. Taking me with you, letting me be part of your team. I've learned a lot. I've thought about what you said, about eliminating the threat immediately, regardless of the cost. You were right. You were right about Dr. Salian, too. Killing him was the only solution.
That I
This way,
wholeheartedly
we'll
agree
never
with.
hurt anyone again.
Words mean nothing until you turn them into action, Garrus. What are you going to do about it?
I'm going to reapply for Spectre training. It will probably kill my father, but I've got to try.
For what it's worth, I think you should. You'd be a hell of a Spectre.
Except go back to CSEC. I'm done with them. No more red tape, no more politics. From now on, I do things my way.
I'm glad you see it that way. Keep that in mind when we meet Saren.
Don't worry, Commander. I will.
So we've set him down a path there that will actually conclude and reapply itself during Mass Effect 2, but he's right on the money, man. All the politics and bureaucracy that was protecting Dr. Salion, that would have Dr. Salion on trial and in a cushy cell with 3 hearts in a cart and a stripper on Sundays, like, he doesn't deserve that, and the victims definitely don't deserve him getting that, so putting him in the ground is the right call, and that's how it should be.
Commander?
This is gonna be fun.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Gotta admire those colonials. That's about the worst place for a colony I've ever seen. Given the option, I'd get the hell out of Dodge.
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
I'm off duty until tomorrow. I was gonna have a small drink. Bit of a celebration. If you're interested.
Okay, so she's not too tore up about the decision we made then. She did indeed handle it like an adult, like she said she would.
What's the occasion?
It's Armistice Day, when the first contact war ended. My family always marks it. Since I'm the only Williams aboard, I thought I'd ask you.
Seems like an odd thing to celebrate. That was 26 years ago.
In our family, it's not really a celebration, more like an obligation. Don't tell me you don't know about my family. My commanders always find out. It's not in my files or something?
There's almost nothing in your files. Technical scores and a list of crap assignments.
There's a reason for the crap assignments. I'm General Williams' granddaughter, the commander of the Shanxi garrison in the war. The only human ever to surrender to an alien race.
And that is the bombshell that should let you know everything else that you need to know that we haven't already discussed about why Ashley Williams is not a space racist, and most of her viewpoints are quite understandable. So obviously, after the first contact war that ended in our surrender, they actually humanity surrendered. And again, like she said, it's the only time it's ever happened. He surrendered the garrison because Turians were in space dropping bombs on civilians, and her grandfather ended up surrendering the garrison and making his men stand down for the sake of the civilians, which is a very good and noble thing to do when you think about it. But of course the Alliance and all the brass don't appreciate that, especially not how it makes humanity look on the global scale of which we just entered into, right? The galactic scale, rather, excuse me. And so he was like dragged through the mud on that, given shit assignments. His I believe they might have even made him a pencil pusher after the fact, because he surrendered to save civilian lives, which is the point of the military, right? To save civilians. And so that's why all of her opinions about aliens and not trusting them, and why she has such a chip on her shoulder. Not to mention the life she's lived, right? Joining the military with a blackballed family name like that inside the military, and then being punished for that every day with the shit assignments on duty and all that stuff. You can totally understand why she sees things the way that she does, and she really genuinely isn't a space racist. People just can't look past what they see at the face value. They see her say that she doesn't trust aliens, and all of a sudden she's a racist, but that's not really what's going on here at all.
I see. That's why you drive yourself so hard.
A Williams has to be better than the best, if only to avoid suspicion. That's what my dad told me the night before he retired. It takes a special kind of thick-headed to march into a job where your family's blacklisted. I did it anyway. I'm not gonna let our name go down with Arnold and Quisling. Granddad deserved better than that.
And I imagine a lot of the reason why her family continues to be military is to kind of redeem their name, right? Or redeem their perceived honor that's besmirched by a surrender, at least to the rest of the galaxy, because I'm sure people in their family know why he did what he did and that it was the right call. But nobody else sees it like that, especially people so far removed from it too. They're just gonna be like, well, your grandpa surrendered, waving that white flag, huh?
What happened to your grandfather after the war?
He was relieved of command as soon as Shan-Chi was liberated. They brought him back to Earth in irons, but there was never a trial. They quietly demoted him and stuck him behind a desk. He retired a year later and spent the rest of his life working construction in the colonies. Sometimes we hear about attempts to get him exonerated in some official way. Nothing ever comes of them.
Clapped him in irons, skipped the trial though, and just demoted him, stuck him behind a desk, pushed him out quietly so that there would be no fuss or things going on in the media, and then he had to break his back working construction for the rest of his life because he did the right thing. And put a chip on my shoulder too.
As I recall, your grandfather held out for a long time.
The Turians wrecked the orbitals in the first wave and occupied the major cities. They sat in orbit, dropping rocks on anything that moved. Granddad dispersed the troops, but when they went into the cities for supplies, the Turians would wreck a block to eliminate one fire team. Civilians were dying, his troops were starving, and he couldn't contact Alliance High Command. So he surrendered the garrison.
And that is all you need to know about the Turian military and their tactics, right? Just dropping meteors from orbit on anything that moves. Just to kill one fire team, they'd take out an entire city block. You imagine the death and destruction. So you have your civilian population that you're trying to defend getting slaughtered. Your own men are starving to death. What is he supposed to do? There's no alternative than surrender. Were they supposed to fight to the last man and get all millions of the population on Shan-Chi slaughtered?
He refused to sacrifice his men just to save face for humanity. You planning to throw yourself on a sword to save face for him?
Would it make a difference? He's gone now. Dad's gone too. And who would it impress? I'll never be good enough for the Alliance. So now you know. Gonna kick me off the ship, Skipper?
Of course not. You've done more than enough to prove yourself here, and you earned your spot in the first place.
You're a valuable part of my crew, Williams. If I want an opinion from the head, I go to Alenko. When I want one from the heart, I go to you.
I also play a mean game of pool. But anyway, I've got things to do before we land. I'm sure you do too.
I am sure as well.
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
I should get back to my duties.
We do have a couple things to do anyways. We got the rest of our cast and crew to talk to, although I don't think they'll have much to say.
Never a dull moment with you, Shepard.
You ever go on any missions like ours before?
Saving the galaxy from certain destruction? No. But I've had my share of adventures.
Do you remember any that stick out?
A few. I remember one time I was hired by a Volus diplomat. What an ass.
That's been my experience for the Boluses so far too, Rex.
I guess even politicians have need of mercs from time to time, huh?
Time to time.
Can't think of a better bodyguard than a
If it wasn't for
Krogan.
Politicians, I'd be out of work. They're always looking for ways to get ahead. This one was no different. He wanted me to erase his past. Get rid of an old friend who knew too much. Huh. His old friend turned out to be an Asari commando.
Rex versus an Asari commando, I bet that was a hell of a fight. Probably destroyed a planet in the process.
I can see why that might give you pause.
What? No. Alina and I were old friends. Sort of.
Kind of friends, Rex.
We met when we were both contracted to kill the same Turian. Neither of us wanted the other one to get him first. We spent more time fighting each other than tracking that Turian.
An Asari commando mercenary? That's unusual, isn't it?
I wouldn't say it's unusual. Mercs come in all shapes. Anyway, when I told Alina about the diplomat's contract, she and I had a good laugh about it.
So what did you do?
Well, I wasn't going to lose the contract, but I respected Alina. In the end, I let her pick the location where we'd fight. She chose some old Solarian space station overrun with mercs and smugglers. That way we didn't have to worry about hurting any innocent bystanders. Huh. She always was a bit of a softie.
What happened on the station?
What didn't happen? For 2 days I chased her through that station, used my entire store of ammunition, had to kill a bunch of mercs and use their crap weapons. By the third day,
2-day fight's a
the
hell of a
station
thing.
was barely holding together. The mercs were dead or gone, life support was failing, but I had her. She'd locked herself in the med labs. She was trying to patch herself up. Damn tough, that one. Then just when I thought I had her, the station's core went critical. Barely made it back to my ship in time.
I assume the Asari commando didn't make it?
I watched the station from a distance. I never saw her leave. And when that place blew, there was nothing left larger than a Turian's right nut. So I headed back
He has a way with words, doesn't he?
dues and collect my pay. But before I got halfway there, Alina sent me a message. Better luck next time. Now, I'm not superstitious, but if someone can survive that, well, they deserve to live. At least for a bit longer.
The respect of a warrior, right?
What about the diplomat? He wanted her dead.
I told him the truth. Alina was still alive and she was really pissed. I told him if he wanted to live, he'd need me around to protect him.
Oh, you got yourself a long line of future employment out of that. And a good fight. I know you enjoy both.
And he believed you.
He kept me on as his personal guard until he died. Natural causes.
Sure, you got a lot of pennies too.
Easiest job I've ever had. A little boring, but credits are credits.
Yeah, I imagine going through
So long, Rex.
life as a Volus politician's bodyguard. It's not like they get into a whole lot of trouble, right? Like the only thing he ever sent him on that was extremely dangerous was the fact that he had to go fight an Asari commando. But for the most part, it's probably just random humans and Volus trying to blackmail people, and Rex can definitely handle that, let's be honest.
Hey, Shepard. Do you need something?
And Tali has nothing.
I should go.
See?
Alright, so that is the wrap-up for everybody's conversations, but I am going to dip back into the Citadel because I am assuming Conrad Werner will be back there now that we did a main story, and we got to talk to Admiral Hahoku too, so we'll go back to the Citadel. Now that we've chit-chatted to everybody, what I'll probably do is edit on up here, and I'll catch you guys at the Citadel.
Good timing, Commander. We got a transmission coming in from the Citadel. Top priority clearance.
Ah, I forgot this was a thing too, so I will actually split this on up after this.
I'll take it in the comm
Of
room.
course, we'll take the Council's call. Top priority clearance from the Citadel could really only be the Council. It's not like it could be anybody else.
Commander Shepard, we've received information that may be critical to your mission against Saren.
Well, look at that. They're actually helping us.
I'll take all the help I can get.
We've received an urgent message from one of our infiltration regiments in the Traverse.
You mean spies?
Spectres tend to attract attention, Commander, but they are only one arm of the Council. Special task groups are often a better option for monitoring developing situations.
We currently have several infiltration units scattered throughout the border regions of Citadel space. This particular unit was gathering intel on Saren.
And I'd like to point out that in the background of sending us chasing our ass after Saren, they also have their own teams trying to take care of Saren too. It's almost like they would rather be the ones to catch him and deal with it their way. They're directly undermining us here. And when we learn more about this mission, you'll see why I believe that.
What did they find?
Unfortunately, the message we received was little more than static. The infiltration team must be in a situation where they can't set up proper interstellar communications. But the message was sent on a channel reserved for mission-critical communications. Whatever they were trying to tell us, we know it was important. Considering your interest in Saren, we thought you might want to investigate this. Find out what happened to our team. The signal originated from the planet Vermeer.
They only want us to investigate this because their team is getting their ass shot off and they can't make contact. They would not have told us about this at all if that team had have done what they were meant to do. And they're literally investigating Saren's base of operations.
Not to become involved in the specifics of Spectre activities.
Right.
We only want you to be
Because
aware
you
of
wouldn't want
all
to be
your
left holding the
options,
bag for any of it.
including Vermeer. Good luck, Commander Shepard. We will keep you advised if we learn anything else.
Yeah, they are just undermining us, which kind of makes what Garrus said hold a little more water, right? The fact that he said the Council might try and wrap him up and take him from us, and then we don't get our chance at justice or any of that stuff. When you think about it, it does kind of sound a little more reasonable. The fact that they're investigating it behind our backs without telling us until they need assistance. Maybe Garrus was onto something when he said not to trust the Council. Of course, I'd already agreed with Garrus and said that Saren is dead when I meet him anyway. I wouldn't turn him in handcuffs either way because it's too risky. He has too many connections, too many contacts, too many ways out of a prison cell. And I'm sure he has far too many friends on the Citadel for any of that, right? And then you have Sovereign to consider too, and the things that Sovereign can do. Like the Asari Commando said, he turned Matriarch Benezia to his cause with Sovereign, so who's to say he couldn't do that to the Council if we let the Council get in the same room as him? Just too much risk. But the fact that they're willing to go behind our backs and investigate it on their own terms clearly shows, to me at least, that what they actually would much rather get that themselves and deal with that in-house without any outside involvement or speculation. And I've already proven myself to be willing to talk to the media about things they'd rather keep under wraps, so I'm sure that probably has something to do with it too. Either way, they're not going to get that opportunity. And I'll go to Vermeer and see what's going on with their people too. But Vermeer is for much later. We're actually not going to go there yet. We still have Noveria to do, so. And I think for the next couple episodes, we'll probably be doing some galactic exploration type things, because we got, I think, 2 different worlds to look at from Pharos for the things with the Thorian samples that Cerberus was stealing. And then we're also going to have to deal with what Admiral Hahoku is going to give us when we tell him about his men, so.
Exo Presley has
We'll probably have to explore a couple more star systems before we head on to Noveria, and then after Noveria, then that's when we'll tackle Vermeer.
Now that you have experienced a Spectre's life firsthand, Garrus, do you regret leaving your security position?
It's an interesting question.
Fighting a rogue Spectre with countless lives at stake and no regulations to get in the way, I'd say that beats CSEC.
Probably right.
I am unsure how the imminent destruction of all organic life beats anything, but your enthusiasm is comforting nonetheless.
It's easy, Liara. He likes action. He's a man of action. He doesn't like to sit behind red tape and be told that he can't pursue somebody he knows is the bad guy. He'd rather go handle it, which is respectable. I think he'll make a hell of a Spectre. I think he shouldn't have dropped out in the first place, to be honest. And I understand his father hates Spectres, so that's why he dropped out, because his dad really didn't want him to become that. But at the end of the day, man, You can save a lot of lives as a Spectre if you're a good one, and Garrus would certainly be a good one.
Commander, I've been waiting for you to get back. I've got an idea, and I wanted to run it by you.
I've got a lot going on right now, but I can spare a moment.
Great! This'll just take a minute. With so many human colonies being attacked, I'm not sure that one Spectre is enough.
Right.
What if you signed me on as another Spectre?
Conrad, you're like a plumber. I don't think this is the right play, bro.
Conrad, I don't think that's a good idea.
But I'd make a great Spectre. I'd be right there with you, showing the Council what humanity is capable of. I want to be with you, fighting the good fight like you did on Elysium during the Skillian Blitz.
What did Nate Diaz say to Bradley Martin when he was talking about if he could beat him in a street fight? He just laughed and he said, "You're a podcaster, brother." That's what I feel like saying to Conrad here. Like, you're a podcaster, brother. Just stick to what you do. Go hang out with your wife.
I believe you, Conrad. But there's another fight that needs you.
What? I don't understand.
You know what keeps me going out here? Knowing that people back home are keeping humanity strong.
You're right. I just got so caught up in all of it. I wanted to help. I'll go home. Thanks for setting me straight.
Oh, well, don't limp away like a wounded puppy. You got a wife, maybe kids one day, if she doesn't leave your ass for having pictures of Commander Shepard hung all over the walls. But he has a pretty good life. He doesn't need to come get his ass blown off, and to be honest, he's just not cut out for being a Spectre. I respect the ambition, but you're a plumber. You're a podcaster, brother. Just ease off a little bit. Go live your life the way that you should be living your life. I can chat to Admiral Hahoku.
No, I'm waiting. Commander, any word on my missing men?
I'm not sure how to tell you this, Admiral. Your men were killed by a Thresher Maw.
A Thresher Maw? That's not... My men wouldn't just stumble into a Thresher nest. Not the entire unit.
Somebody lured them there with an Alliance distress beacon. Placed it perfectly so they'd land right beside the Thresher nest.
Damn it. I had a bad feeling about this ever since my team disappeared. An Alliance beacon used as bait, my unit wiped out, and nobody seems to know anything about it. Commander, I appreciate what you did. Now I need to do my part. The families of those Marines deserve to know why they died.
Anything you need from me?
Not right now, Shepard, but I'll let you know as soon as I find something out.
Yeah, that's tough. That his whole unit is dead like that, and I'm sure he's not gonna leave that lying down either. I mean, he's been sitting here harassing the council and all the correct people in positions of power about it for weeks, right? While we've been out in space trying to find out what happened, and even before we got here, he was probably there too. So I'm sure he's not going to take that line down. He's going to go inform those men's families, and then I'm sure he's going to try and get to the bottom of it too, which we will get something on the next time we're on the Normandy. I might even go hit the Normandy now and see if we'll get that as soon as we hit the terminal, but we might have to change locations for us to get that. But we can do that anyways, because we can go ahead and pick which planet we're going to do next episode.
That makes me ask, but do you feel comfortable facing a respected Turian Spectre like Saren?
Saren is either a traitor or a madman. Taking him down will restore the good name of Turians everywhere.
That's the right way to look at it.
With your respect for the Spectres, I thought you might hesitate. I'm glad I was wrong.
Well, since you're considering about hesitation, that makes me wonder about your intentions with Benezia, actually, since you thought he would hesitate, and perhaps you're having some doubts of your own. Possible, right? It's her mother. Which is a little bit of a more hefty situation than Garrus is in, right? It might be a Turian, but it's not anybody directly related to him. However, with Liara, that's literally her mother. And her only parent, since she didn't have a father. So
Logged. The commanding officer...
having to potentially kill your only parent is a little more dicey than having to just kill somebody who's from your species. We'll have to see if she passes that test as we progress. Alright, so what I should have done before we even hit that was go to my journal. And let's see. So investigating samples was one of them. The logs mentioned something about the Metano system in the Maroon Sea cluster. That would be a good place to start your investigation. And then we have the facility here too. So you found a confidential transmission while on Feros. It's unclear exactly what's going on, but it appears Exogeny sent some kind of sample to a research facility on Nodacrux. And Nodacrux is also in the Maroon Sea cluster. So the Maroon Sea cluster is exactly where we're going, which would be a new location on the map. So let's open this on up. And we'll travel to the Maroon Sea cluster for next episode, and we'll see if we can get our transmission from Kahoku. So we have Hawking Ada cluster, Maroon Sea is right there. We did Kepler, we did Armstrong, we did Voyager, we did Hades, we did Gemini, we did Argus Rho, we did Artemis Tau, and we've done local cluster. So Maroon Sea is the only place left to go, I think. Let's hit this and let's see. So we have Caspian, Vostok, and Metano. Metano and Vostok are the ones that we know for a fact have the missions we're looking for, so we will go ahead and start with Metano. We'll see if we get that radio comm chatter when we travel. Love that animation flying through the mass relays. That neon blue is very pretty.
Message for you, Commander. Just came in over a secure channel.
Shepard, this is Admiral Hahoku. I found out who set that trap for my men. The ones killed by the Thresher Maw. Damn, I hope you get this message. It was a group called Cerberus. An Alliance Black Ops organization. Top secret, highest level security clearance. They vanished a few months ago. Dropped right off the grid. Nobody knew where they went or what they were up to. They've gone completely rogue, Shepard. They're conducting illegal genetic experiments, trying to create some kind of super soldier. I don't have any proof, but I found the coordinates for one of their research worlds. I'm uploading them with this message. They're completely out of control. Somebody needs to stop them. I've done my part. Now it's up to you. This is probably the last you'll hear from me. Cerberus is after me now. I need to disappear before they find me.
So like I said, he obviously wasn't going to take that line down, and he actually discovered that the Cerberus organization that we already know about is the one that was behind his men disappearing. They were also behind those Thresher Maw experiments, and they've also been leeching samples from the Thorian on Pharaoh. So Cerberus has its grubby little hands in all kinds of things. Alliance backed, Alliance funded, Alliance trained, and now they've gone completely rogue. Now they're just doing whatever they want to do, trying to create some super soldier. So I imagine that's why those Thresher experiments on tombs with the acid in the veins and all that stuff, and probably why they want the samples from Pharaohs too. They're probably going to inject that into some more unwilling soldiers and see if they can turn them into a superhuman. Anyways, that does line up perfectly what we're going to be doing for the next few episodes, so thank you for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, please do check out those links in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned, and I'll see you soon with more Mass Effect. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Peace.